Hey friends, Besa Gordon here, and it is time for another episode of Almost the Weekend, and you already know I can't do this without my co-host.
You already know it's your boy Curtis Delgado, the second here, aka Cuddy, tapping in and checking in for Almost the Weekend once again.
Now, today, Cuddy, we have a very special guest, and that happens to be our CEO of Converge Media, Omari Salisbury.
The OG is up.
So today, Omari's going to talk to us about his new show, The Big O Show, and just also what he's been doing over these last few months. But in the meantime, between time, you already know what time it is. We're going to pass it on over to Cuddy for our weekend warm-up.
You already know, every time. So, starting off our weekend warm-up this week, we got 2 highs and a lie. So we already know the game, 2 truths and a lie. This one is a cannabis twist, and it's presented by Funny Fridays at the Docks. It's a 420 infused game show where 2 comics will take infused treats. One will be abstained. Can you guess which one's high and which one's telling a lie?
That's a
This is going to be happening Friday, December 19th at the Dock Sports Bar and Grill from 8 to 10 p.m. and tickets can be found via Eventbrite. Moving on to Saturday, we got Lit After Lit presented by Dope and Wavy Global. Lit After Lit is more than a party. It's a movement, it's a vibe, and it's an unstoppable wave of high energy experiences with the top DJ spinning Afrobeats, hip-hop, house, dancehall, reggae, and more. This is happening Saturday night, December 28th at the Medina Hookah Lounge. From 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. So, you know, they partying all night. You can get your tickets at Eventbrite. All right, planning ahead from the D to the C-Town. You already know we're tapping in with your boy Peasy with the Still Ghetto Tour. This is happening Friday, January 9th at First and Bell from 8 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. You can get your tickets now via Eventbrite. And I'm telling you early because you already know the doors, that line is going to be crazy and the room is going to be packed. So get your tickets now. And then also, an event reminder, you already know it's the weekend warm-up. It's your Thursday night, but it's not too late for you to get your tickets because Gunna will be performing tomorrow night at WAMU Theater. Doors will be opening at 7 p.m. with the show starting at 8. So pick your favorite ticket platform to get your tickets at, and lock in with me because I will definitely be there. And that's my weekend warm-up.
I'm trying to figure out if we have the same event once again. I'm like, wait a minute.
Nope. I know you don't got 2 highs and left.
You don't have Ugly Sweater Christmas Party?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to start with. Hey,
Come on.
So look, this event is happening this Friday. It goes down from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. over at Legion Sports Bar in Bellevue. Now, this was one of Cuddy's events, so this is definitely a reminder. There's going to be karaoke, Christmas sweaters, ugly Christmas sweaters to be specific. Of course, good music and so much more. Look, you guys, for the first 10 signups, prizes are first, second, and third place. You have a holiday photo booth. You have soul food and good vibes. So look, I've been to Legion's. It's really, really cute in there. And if you haven't actually been, I think this is a good time to pull up. It's the holiday freaking season, and why not? You're going to probably even make some new friends while you're there. You have the 2025 On the Block Holiday Special. This is happening from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. this Sunday, okay? So it's the second annual one. It is a marketplace and fundraiser. It's free, so you ain't got to worry about having to pay for an entry. It's family friendly and kid friendly, and the event is hosted at the Quality Flea Center. So, and by the way, there's going to be 60 plus local vendors, which means you have a lot of shopping to do for your holiday season. So definitely pull up on that one. Next, we have Desi Banks. He's going to be in here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday over at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club. So of course you can grab those tickets over at superfunnycomedyclub.com. I got to interview him like maybe 2 years ago while I was still doing radio. He is a hootie hoot. And look, you're going to definitely have a good time if you pull up on him. Let me make sure I don't have one more event.
Bro's funny as hell.
He's a hoot.
Come on, I got to give him some merch one time. I think his first time in
Oh,
Tacoma.
that's the one that we talked about with Nate. Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to Bro. That's dope. He's coming back.
And then my last event is Guap Fam, I can't even say it, Guap Fam Pre-Funk New Year's Eve celebration. Now, the party is private, so I want for you to search Guap Fam Pre-Funk New Year's Eve celebration on Facebook. As you can see, the flyer is right there, so just look for that one. That way you can get the exact location and the vibes. In the meantime, between time, Cuddy.
It's time for our first break.
It is time for our first break. And when we come back, we will be joined by the Big O himself. Of course, you're watching.
Big O.
Of course, you're watching Almost the Weekend.
Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Give the gift that roars. Get your tickets at stgpresents.org.
Welcome back to Almost the Weekend. I am your host, Besa Gordon, and you already know my co-host is, I don't know where Cuddy's at. You know, he be living his best life. However, right now we have the Big O with us to talk about the Big O Show and what he's been honestly doing since the morning update show and what he has planned for the future. Hello.
Besa Gordon, what's happening?
Man, we're living our best life, trying to stay dry.
I can clearly see you're trying to stay dry.
I am. My jacket goes all the way down to here. I got a big hood that came on.
Yeah, you dressed for the occasion. I see.
I am. I try to be. But seriously, though, so the last time there are certain people, if they haven't been following our social media, that you were on the morning update show. And since then, you took some time off. You got hip surgery, so now you over here doing the break dance on us. Yeah. But then you also got the Big O Show. I'm curious to know, what made you bring out the Big O Show after your surgery?
Yeah, first of all, I got moves now. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even get the two-step going before. You know, I really might break dance up in here. Well, first of all, it's great to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity. It's my first time on Almost the Weekend. I would say, going directly to your question, a lot of people know me in particular, and especially the morning update show. That's where really when Seattle and the Puget Sound area needed information the most, we rose to the occasion. And the morning update show started in March of 2020. And we retired it June 3rd of 2022. And I mean, we totally disrupted the media market in Seattle. People had never seen anything like that. A weekday news show that originated from the neighborhood, really from the people. All the other news outlets, for the most part, are, it's major media. So for something to come from the neighborhood and look good too, you know what I'm saying, with a good level of production, it was transformational, and we definitely changed the market in Seattle. It hasn't been the same since. But in 2022, I stepped back from all of that. I had an injury. It wasn't as bad back then, but I had an injury in a protest, and I really wanted to do something different. You know, when you do news every day, it can really get to you, especially if you're dealing with your own things coming out of the protests and everything else. And so it did a lot of stuff over that 3 years. Man, we made quite a few films. We picked up a lot of awards. We launched a show called Back to Besa. We launched The Day with Trey. We launched We Live in Color.
We won an Emmy for The Day with Trey.
Yeah. Got one of them statues back there.
Got to give our sis her props.
But yeah, all day long. We got a nomination for Nooksack 306 also last year, Reconciliation Tour. We put some films on Alaska Air in flight. We got all kinds of stuff playing over at T-Mobile Park. So I stayed busy in a capacity that I could with my limited mobility. And the morning update show, or the Big O Show. So now we get to today. Why the Big O Show? Why now? I mean, I prayed that if I ever got my mobility back, if I could ever really walk again, because that's a whole story there, where it's lots of time I couldn't even walk, that I would spend every moment, every day, every hour, man, I wouldn't stop. I would be relentless in living life out loud and to its fullest. And one thing that I've always just loved is news and information and keeping up on it and everything else. And there's still, I think, a gap in the market, especially around video, around just news and interviews and talking to people and talking to people at City Hall and county government and in community. And so that's the idea of the big old show. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a little bit more laid back than the Morning Update show. You know, we try to get it popping to it. You know, it's structured, but not quite as much, and we're filling it out. You know, sometimes we do a recorded studio show or pre-recorded studio show. Sometimes you see me live back there at the desk. Sometimes I'm just popping it in community and everything else. So it's a lot more flexible, and it's really kind of built more around my personality than I actually structured news show, but we're delivering news and information that our community wants and needs.
I'm curious to know, you know, as someone that has dealt with skin issues and I've had to take time off camera, and then we have to talk about, are you ready to come back? Are you mentally ready to come back? After your surgery, because for those that don't know, you did have hip surgery, and that is why you're over here two-stepping all over the city.
Hey.
What was that second that you were like, I can do this now?
I'll be honest with you. So I had a total hip replacement. Big shout out, Dr. Ibrahim, Swedish up in here. You know what I'm saying? They took care of your boy. Man, as soon as I had the surgery, you know, and I went into recovery. One thing I will say is, before I get to that, is all the stuff I've kind of been through, like with my health and everything, lots of pain, but you know, I try to stay as positive as possible. And going into that surgery and everything, they told me, they was like, man, if you got a good attitude, you're gonna do well. And I remember I went, got surgery, I got a recovery, and you know, I was joking with the anesthesiologist. I was like, bro, you got one job, make sure I come back.
That part.
Hey, look, I woke up, I started high-fiving
I got things to
everybody.
do tomorrow.
I started high-fiving, I said, I'm back. And to get to your point, man, they got me walking there up in Swedish right after the surgery, and I walked out of the building, basically, and got in the car, and I didn't have one pain pill, no nothing. And I'm somebody, I was like, man, you know, it hurt. I'll just say that. You know, I used to be Tylenol, Aleve, all this stuff. And I didn't take not one. Like literally, I walked out of surgery and went home, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm good. It was just a little discomfort. And I just knew that was the sign. You know, I was like, I'm ready. You know, it took some time to rehab. I'm still going to physical therapy. Big shout out ATI. I know I don't miss some appointments. Don't worry, I'll be back. But there was no greater moment than walking out that hospital, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I got my life back. Because you got to understand that, like, when you live with like chronic pain, you live with those things, you start to reduce what you think is possible in your life. And your life is just reduced to what you're able to do with the minimal amount of pain. And so you stop dreaming big, you stop aspiring big, you almost kind of become an introvert. And being able to like wake up every day in no pain, I literally wake up every day happy. I got a lot going on. It's a lot of pressure, stress on me and everything. But the first thing is I wake up in the morning and I'm happy. So, you know, it was just transitional. So right there, the day of the surgery, I had the surgery October 10th. October 11th, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm coming back.
I know that's right. Now, let me ask you this. So you've told a lot of stories on the Big O Show, even though, like, I almost feel like you fully haven't done your launch yet. Like, it's here, but I feel like you're still lightweight holding back. So what are some of the stories that you've told, and why did you want to tell those stories?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely. So here's what I say, is that I wouldn't say I'm holding back, but one I will say is like, when it's all the way rolled out, it's fitting to be ridiculous. Well, that's 100, but I'm letting it all happen organically. And it's a beautiful thing not to have the pressure of being like, oh, it has to be like this or that. You know, it's just moving. And so, like, thus far, for somebody who hasn't, like, officially launched their show, you know, we had Mayor-elect Katie Wilson, her very first sit-down interview. It was an hour right here in the studio. We also had Chief Barton, who's the chief of Seattle Care, also had council member Kettle, and then my buddies Marcus Harrison Green, was here from South Seattle Emerald, and also Justin Carter from Capitol Hill Seattle blog. So, right now I just been kind of keeping it elected officials and media and everything, but I'm really looking forward to 2026 is like jumping in with my folks, man, and getting it just popping down here.
Now, speaking of getting it popping, there's so many people that only know you from the protests, and we talk about this all the time. Like, you have a full life before you even came back to Seattle. Like, yeah, you grew up in the CD, but you have a whole life on the continent, which is how I even went to Tanzania and actually knew some people to connect with while I was over there, right? So what are some of the things that got you to be the person that you are today to make it to where you have a big old show? I think that the way that you do your interviews and the way that you connect with people is a little bit different than everybody else, and it's very comfortable for them to where you can really just kind of relax anybody that you talk to.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for that question. It's been an interesting journey. Well, I started at the Messenger, the school paper at Garfield High School. Then I was on radio in college on WRVS 89.9 ECSU. My first job out of college, I worked at AM1. People might remember AM1, the shoe company. Worked on the film Ball Above All. I was a producer there. And then my journey took me overseas. And I spent a good part of my career, man, internationally. I've been to about 60 countries, a good portion of those on the continent of Africa. I've lived in so many different countries, helped launch TV and radio platforms and streaming platforms in places like Tanzania and Rwanda, Uganda, Botswana, Zanzibar. But then also I lived in the UAE. I lived in Dubai and Abu Dhabi for 4 years. We launched a TV station there in the UAE when that was wild. I used to do like distribution for over the continent of Africa. So I go over to Beijing and do like content distribution deals there. I go to the south of France, did a deal with Simon Cowell, worked on that. East Africa's Got Talent. So, I mean, the thing is that, yeah, you're right in the sense that, like, for me, when I came back home and how it relates to this show is being so many places in the world and meeting with so many different people and having to understand cultures and meet people where they are and all those kind of things. It just taught me a skill of being able to, one, put an emphasis on understanding people and where they're coming from, and communication and listening and everything else. But also all of that, my life journey, man, I've popped it big all over the world. I done been to some of the best clubs, the greatest events and everything. So that also means that, like, I could sit here in the studio and talk to somebody. I don't have nothing to prove. I'm not trying to get the next gig. I'm not trying to get another click. I'm not trying to get whatever. Like, I'm good.
Now, he didn't expect me to ask him, but you got to tell everybody, who are some of the big names that you've brought over to the continent?
Oh, wow. Okay. So, let's see here.
And where?
Yeah. So, I mean, for years, I worked with Clouds Media in Tanzania. And these days, people think Clouds, you think cloud computing. But Clouds was a DJ crew, right? Joseph Kusaga and Ruge. And Clouds was cool, lovable, outrageous, unique, dynamic sound. And these guys, it was a big part of the transformation of why Tanzania is like so big right now in East Africa in music. And so working there at Clouds and Fiesta, I mean, some of everybody, from whether it was T.I. or 50 Cent or Ja Rule or Ludacris or Maya, man, the list goes on and on. Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Didn't you bring E40 over there at some point?
No, took E40 to Dubai. Took E40 to Dubai and Bahrain.
Different area, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, no, so over in Africa. And then, you know, I'm the global citizen. From Maine to Spain and Turkey to Albuquerque, all around the bubble. But I took 40 up there and a few other artists to Dubai and to Bahrain. But it was, and this is back, it's like kind of no big deal now. Guys are like, oh yeah, we're just traveling around the world. But you got to think, like, some of this some first concert 20 years ago. People looked at the continent of Africa differently. You know, once people saw a Wizkid and a Burna Boy and a Davido, they transformed their thoughts of Africa. But 20 years ago, man, it was difficult to get these stars over there.
Is it just because they saw them differently and they didn't want them to come? They didn't want to go?
I mean, people didn't see Africa as popping. You see what I'm saying? So Afro beats.
So what changed it?
Afro beats really changed the perspective. And a lot of people like on the ground like myself, like I influenced like a smaller group of people. But if you got a lot of people like from Seattle, so it's cool. Those is the artists like that people know that I've either taken to Africa or was part of you know, Fiesta and Clouds and them coming to Africa. But man, if we put it right here on the turf, man, let me tell you, DJ Supreme LaRock took to Tanzania, to Dubai, and to Bahrain. DJ Topspin to Tanzania, to Kenya, to Bahrain, to Dubai. Big D Burrell, again, all over the Middle East and Africa. My brother, DJ Kun Love, my other brother, Toon, man, all my kids over there. Besa Gordon was over in Tanzania, in East Africa. It's a long list. So, like, yeah, the artist is one thing, but there's a lot of people that I went overseas and got on and was like, y'all got to see this. You know, G Prez was dope. Like, there's a long list. There's at least like 20, 25 people from Seattle that one way or another, because of these connections, they made the journey to the continent.
Now, first of all, had to definitely get that out. But second of all, going back to like Forward Day, what makes the Big O want to continue to tell better stories, and why does it keep getting him up in the morning?
Oh man, that's a really good question. That's a real emotional question. The telling better stories part. So what gets me up, and when we talk about telling better stories, that goes back to 2022 when we retired the Morning Update show. Everybody thought I was crazy. They said that Converge was going to go out of business, that, you know, if we didn't have the news and information, nothing would work. And, you know, I told my dad, I was like, yo, you know, I want to do something different. I really want to tell all these stories that are out there in our community. And my dad said, don't worry about what anybody says, son. You go out there and tell better stories and make the uplift real. And, you know, here in the studio, there goes, you know, Pops is still over there, you know, his picture's there on the wall. And his presence is still here in this studio. And his presence is still here in this company. And I tell people every time I pick up a camera, I feel my father. And that's a big motivation for me. And especially now, like I'm pain free and everything else is a big motivation for me to, man, wake up and greet the day in the best way I can, and to honor my parents, to honor my father, to honor my mom and the legacy that both of them, you know, have left. And my mom's still here. You know, my dad is, man, it's going on 3 years in some months since he passed away. So it's easy for me because I feel them. And this is every day I wake up as an opportunity to honor really my parents and honor our neighborhood. When we started the Morning Update show, I told guys, I said, man, it might only be 2 people watching. And it was that first day. But I said, I guarantee you, I said, my mom and my dad are going to be watching. And who would have known that from us sitting in the basement in Black Dot with just my mom and my dad in the comments, that, you know, we would be right here. So no matter all the things or awards we might win or bright lights and shiny things and everything else, I'm always grounded in who we serve and, you know, who I'm in service of. And, you know, we collectively are in service of our community. And me personally, I'm in service of my parents. I want them, even my dad looking down, I want them to just be proud of everything that I touched. because I want them to see the love and the care that I put in everything, because it's for them, you know. The community and sometimes, you know, the nation, and every once in a while the world might benefit from something that we create. But people should know that, yeah, I'm thankful for everybody who watches. But, man, everything I do, man, it's just to make my parents proud.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you know you have been.
Yeah.
At least I hope you feel that.
No, it's real. You know, like one thing I miss is, you know, before my dad passed away, you know, both my parents, they would watch everything I made. Like, they saw everything first, you know. They saw everything first. And my dad passed away, and my mom's been in the hospital, you know what I'm saying, for some months. So I do my own test. And, you know, I talk to these guys, you know, I'm like, man, will my dad be proud of this? Will my mama be proud of this? And a lot of times I'll be here till 3, 4, 5 in the morning because I'm not even getting it right for me. I'm getting it right for them.
It's a whole different kind of task.
Oh, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know I was going to cry in the chair with Besa Gordon. You know, it's supposed to be an upbeat, happy show.
It is an upbeat, happy show.
But, you know, any time I get an opportunity, though, to be able to uplift this family legacy, and, you know, my parents left something great. You know, my mom and dad, half a century ago, opened one of the first black-owned photographic portrait studios in America on 23rd in the Central District. My dad actually, when he came out here, one of his first jobs was a staff reporter for the Facts newspaper. You know, my mom, before she went into the hospital, her radio show on KKNW, she has her radio show, the Mother's Justice Show, comes on every Monday. I believe at 1 o'clock. It might be 2. I'm gonna get the right time on it. But my mama, imagine, for 7, 8 years, her radio show, and so for me being a kid in the dark room with my dad developing photos, to my mama having her radio show, I tell people that media is not on me. This media is in me, and what we do. It's so authentic, and it's with so much care. And I think that's why, you know, you see that Converge makes the things that we make. Believe me, Converge could be a lot bigger, and we can make anything here. But we're in a lane of uplift, and we're in the lane of telling better stories. We're in the lane of showing black people how beautiful and wonderful they are. And that takes time to build, because sometimes as an overall community, sometimes we have to be convinced of how wonderful we are and how fabulous we are and how amazing we are. So we grow at the pace that we grow. But at the same time, we ain't never put out anything that would shame our family or shame our neighborhood or our parents or Big Mama and them. And so when you make feel-good content, when you make positive reinforcing content, you're not gonna bubble up and click and all that kind of stuff as fast as when people make content driven around division. They make content that's driven around negative reinforcement. I think there's a thing now called rage bait and all this. We can make anything here at Converge, but when you have a moral compass, and when you know who you serve, then it kind of limits it. And it's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to stay in this lane of uplifting. And that's why it's like we can always go home to our neighborhood. We can always go home. And our neighborhood is proud of us, of what we do. And they check us now. Don't get me wrong. They'll get to checking us real quick, especially our elders. They jump on our head. But they're proud of us.
Yeah. Now, I have one last question for you. So, outside of the Big O Show, outside of Converge, Now that you are mobile again, what is one thing, or even two, that you are excited to be able to do again that you couldn't do before?
I mean, I think that's a great question. Outside of like spending more time with my family, of course, that it's, I guess the best way to answer that is that I just feel like I got something unfinished. You know, we made the report card a few years ago, where I checked in kind of with my dad after he had passed away, and I was like, Dad, we did all of this, and we did all of that, and we've been all over, and we shot all this stuff, and I don't think that I'll ever be like as great with a camera as my dad. You know, he graduated from one of the best photography schools in the world with Brooks Institute, and that's not really my goal, but I just know that there's something great in me. And the biggest thing that I look forward to is that with my own hands, to be able to figure out what that is, to find that story, to tell that story. And so I don't know, it could be right around the corner, it could be years from now, but it's also a good feeling to know that there's something that's there, that's unfulfilled, that there's a story out there for me to tell in the most amazing and outstanding way. And whenever that happens, then I'll know that I've really done something great. I feel like I'm kind of just average right now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I look forward to reaching greatness. And that was something that I definitely couldn't do before this surgery.
Well, I want to say thank you for being vulnerable on Almost the Weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I keep it a buck. I'm sitting here at home.
I know. I mean, this is your home. Like, what?
Yeah. Do you mind if I say something to you?
Don't be having me cry off my damn lashes. Wait a minute.
I'm not trying to make you cry. You know, I could have been talking about your outfit for all you know.
I hope so.
I mean, I'm sorry.
That'll make me at least smile rather than be like,
yeah.
Because you know I cry easy.
Yeah. I would just say this, is that I don't think there's been too many opportunities over the last few years that's presented itself like this. I think maybe I might have filled in for Trey and you were a guest or something like that, and we're always talking about something else. But, you know, quite often when I'm talking about you behind your back, you ain't around. Quite often, one of the things when people ask me about Besa Gordon, and I tell them that Besa's brave. And they say, what do you mean? I said, Besa's brave. I said, don't you know we launched this show with nothing? We launched Back to Besa. We didn't have anything. We still don't have much right now. And most people would have been like, I ain't got no wardrobe. I don't have my stylist. Oh, my hair isn't this and that and everything else. And you bravely was like, you know what? This is my opportunity. This is my chance. I'm not going to let anything or anybody stop me. And in a world today where it's so much easier to just talk yourself out of things, where people let the small voice get to them, where they're not willing to take a chance, where they're not willing to step out there. The fact that, like, you know, you've been brave through this process, where a lot of times it really is unknown. We got to figure a lot of stuff out to week in and week out. Back to Besa on Air told over 700 stories across the Pacific Northwest. This is year 3. June it'll be 4 years. So, you know, I just wanted to tell you what I talk about you behind your back is what I tell people And what I admire most is that brave. We get guys who be like, oh, I don't know, man. I gotta get, the new kicks in and everything else before I get in front of the camera. But when it was time to go, whether you had everything or not, for a brand new show, you were like, let's do it. And to me, that's really dope. And I really like telling that story to young people, especially young girls, when I talk to them, that it's okay to step out there. It's all right. Sometimes you don't have it all together at the same time, but don't let that stop you. Take that step.
I think so.
Well,
Because I definitely came out in my Urban Outfitters. What shirt did I have on?
I think you're in a Jimi Hendrix
I
t-shirt.
think I was in a Jimi Hendrix
episode
t-shirt
1.
and like some shorts and sneakers.
Yeah, but it was dope because that's who you were, though. And
I was comfortable.
yeah, you went on air yourself. Episode number 1, you went on air yourself, and authentically yourself. And I think that's really important. Sometimes people think they got to be somebody else. Man, most important thing you could ever be is just yourself.
That's very, very true. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this interview with the Big O of the Big O Show. And you guys make sure that you're tapping in. First of all, follow Omari on all of his social media platforms. Make sure that you're also tapped in with Converge Media. You're also checking out whereweconverge.com so that way you can see all of his interviews and all his interview clips as they're putting them out. In the meantime, between time, I want to thank you for popping up on the show.
Thank you for the invite, Besa. I'm here anytime. Literally, I'm just always here.
This is
but
true.
I'm here for you anytime.
Thank you. Well, shoot. In the meantime, between time, you guys, look, we are going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, you already know I'm going to be rejoined by my bro, Cuddy, for our weekend picks. Of course, you're watching Almost the Weekend.
Pacific Northwest Ballet is thrilled to be back on stage with your favorite holiday tradition, the Nutcracker. Brighten your holidays with this timeless tale performed by PNB's incredible company of dancers to the live magic of the PNB Orchestra playing Tchaikovsky's classic score. Treat your loved ones to the Nutcracker at Seattle Center's McCaw Hall. For tickets, visit pnb.org.
Welcome back to Almost the Weekend. I'm Besa Gordon.
And I'm Curtis Delgado II, a.k.a. Cuddy.
And it is time for our weekend picks.
Where you going?
So I think I'm good. First of all, I do not have an ugly sweater, so don't even do me if I pull up.
So go get one.
Don't judge me.
Just go get one.
Don't judge me.
I'm not, well, if the smacking of the lips was judgment, I take that back because I don't even have one myself personally. However, don't knock it so early. You can go get one.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
You be making.
But if I can't, I shouldn't not go. I shouldn't not go just because I don't have time to get
But
one.
you can make an experience out of it. You make reels and everything anyways. Now that's a whole nother little reel for you to do. Cross collab with whatever
All right,
store
I'm going to
you
find
went
something
with.
black on. I'm going to find me one.
Come on, it's up. Ooh, see? And shout out, and I know how to sew now. You feel me? I'm
Let me
still in
just
my
hit DJ
beginner
and have
step.
him
Shout
make
out
me a
to
sweater.
Dan McClain, It's,
DJ, I need a sweater.
yeah,
I don't know if that's a part of your forte, but if you
DJ,
can get that
DJ
to
don't
me,
make the. Oh,
by
I mean, you can wear a
Friday.
Vontae sweater. You can wear a Vontae sweater, but that's not an ugly Christmas sweater.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
your forte,
what?
but I need a sweater.
No, but Eric made a good point. Bring in a blank sweater. I'm going to get right with the sewing machine, and we going to cook it up together.
We'll talk about that. Where you going?
I'm going to Gunna for sure.
No, that's right.
Absolutely. What are you saying?
What time are you
Absolutely.
leaving,
Yeah,
Gunna?
I'm going to Gunna
What
for
time
sure.
are you gonna leave at the last song or like the third to last song?
Nah, okay, so do you want to know what I just did for Leon Thomas?
There's rules to some of these
So
events.
what I did for Leon Thomas for this week, I literally got out. Perfect timing. I literally walked in as soon as Ombre stepped on stage for the most part. Maybe stood on the side for maybe like 3 minutes, and then she came out. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that was perfect timing. Now, when it came to leaving, I literally timed it up. I knew Mutt was going to be the last song. So I was like, bet. As soon as I heard it starting off, boom, I started my camera. Got my
Let me
little
get my
shot.
little footage real quick.
And then you know when it comes to content creation, you feel me? You gotta get your 10 to 30 seconds, still shot. Once I got that, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. Yeah, on my way out the door. Boom. I was the first
left.
person out the door. I literally, as I walked out the threshold, I heard him say, "Good night, Seattle." Thank
He
you
was
guys for
already
coming."
out.
Come on, Uber just pulled up on the corner.
Ooh.
I was out of there.
Because if you would have waited another
would've been
2.5
hectic.
minutes,
It would've been hectic.
all the Ubers would have been lined up.
It would've
All
been
the people
hectic.
would have been trying to get out. Then there might be, we won't even do
I didn't
that.
have time for
But
any of
it just
that.
be too much.
I didn't even. Those
much.
people who was getting on scooters didn't even
And
have
don't be
enough
driving
time.
your own car.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting
You're
my
really
car.
not getting
what?
nowhere.
I live. Hey, well, I'm not saying where I live. However,
You're not supposed to.
however, I've experienced getting my car broken into plenty of times, from a Seahawk game to a concert, to learn my lesson to know not to do that. You
Fair
feel me?
enough.
I black trucked it to the Leon Thomas. I ain't gonna lie.
As you
Pulled up,
should.
VIP, cooling, and bounced out before Whisper in the Wind. Anybody can see that?
Pure Cuddy style.
Come on. So, yeah, but I'm also down with going to Desi Banks too. Shout out to bro. You feel me? I gotta see
You got
bro
three
again.
3-day options.
Come on, updated material, all that.
Like
Gotta
what?
slide out there.
So-
But yeah, Gunna for sure.
If we pull up the same day, Cuddy, we have to take photos.
Oh, let's do it.
Just
Let's
a-
sit next
just a
to each
quick
other
one.
in the front.
Oh.
See, I'm a front row type of person. I want to be a part
I
of
am
the
not.
show.
I want no part to the
No,
drama.
I do. And I'm gonna
I
laugh.
don't.
It's so
I'm
funny.
going in the back, and I'm not.
Nah.
I will go in the back.
Nope.
In the corner. I don't want the
That's no
smoke.
fun. What was
I
the
just
point of
wanna-
going?
Well, that's your point of going. I just want to enjoy the jokes.
Man, you could have did that from YouTube. If you're
No.
gonna go, you might as well go be a
Can
part
I
of it.
enjoy the jokes, the hot wings from freaking Nate Jackson's,
See,
and
you
just
can do
mind
that.
my business?
He might make fun of you for eating your hot wings or something. Who knows? See,
I'm in the corner. What he worried about me for?
no, bro. See, that's why I love the
See,
crowd work
Cuddy
too.
is the reason
Shout out
for
to
why
Nate.
if I go, if
right.
I get seen, because he's gonna be like,
Yeah,
her
see,
right
that's
there.
the point. All publicity is good publicity, baby. It's up. You're going to be good. Have your nice little clip out. You might go viral. It might be funny. He might compliment you, try to smack at you or something. And now the whole world's like, dang, Besa Gordon.
thank God I've interviewed him before and it went well. So
See, it's gonna be
hopefully that
good.
doesn't
He's
happen.
going to recognize it, be like, oh, man, bro, you gave me oh, man, you interviewed me. Oh, yeah. What y'all doing here?
Anywho, I'm sitting in the back.
Come on.
Look.
No, we sitting in the front. Hey, if we go together, we're sitting in the front. I'm not hearing it.
Sitting in If you want to advertise on Almost the Weekend, email us at advertise@whereweconverge.com. You can always keep up with me on social media at Besa Gordon on all social media platforms. Cuddy, what you got?
And you guys can keep up with me at Cuddy the Sensei. That's CUDDYTHA Sensei. And if you want to submit some events for us to talk about or get featured on our site, just go to events@whereweconverge.com. Also, make sure. You could go wide since it's both of us. The show's together. However, all right, we're here. Cool. Oh no, are we here? All right, bet. So look. Also, you can follow Almost the Weekend PMW, our Instagram page. All right, Almost the Weekend PMW. And then just remember, man, do us a favor. You're sitting here watching the show anyways, so just do one more step and like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And then also, bring the close up. I like to eat, and so does Cuddy, and so does Eric.
I do enjoy a good meal.
If you have a new restaurant and you want to definitely have us try your food, please email advertise at whereweconverge.com, so that way we can get you on Almost the Weekend. We want to
But
talk about
look,
your
though.
food and share it with everybody else too. Come on now.
But you gotta have something to wash it down. So as you can see, we didn't have bartenders featured on here. So who knows? If there's some fellow mixologists out there that want to display your skills on our show, like we said, tap in with advertise at almosttheweekend.com or it's not that. Let me try again. Or advertise at whereweconverge.com. You feel me?
'Cause we're coming
Always,
together.
conglomeration. All right, advertise at whereweconverge.com. Us at Almost the Weekend PMW and be like, hey, Cuddy, basically, I'm trying to tap in with Sub. Can I come on the show? I got the one little drink. I got the one little eats. You feel me? I'm trying to
We need a resident bartender.
Ooh, resident
deserve-
bartender. I mean, I would say resident DJ, but dang.
We deserve that too.
But I would do that. You know, I'm on nice on the ones and twos. But yeah, DJ, bartender.
So let's get you a
good
table.
eats. That's
so
what I'm
you
saying.
Can wicked.
I was gonna say, hey,
so
I should do both.
You should be sitting over there in the far
Come
corner.
on.
Me and the guest are here.
Come on.
Me
I'm
and
a
Cuddy
DJ.
gotta talk. Because we're gonna figure this new
see
setup
what's
out.
going on. We're gonna see what's shaking, because you know the copyrights and all that. You know, people be player hating. It's all good.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello.
But either Hooters and Pooters, guess what, Cuddy?
What?
First of all, I want y'all to be safe out there because I know this rain is raining, okay?
Facts.
Second of all, it's almost a weekend.
Come on, so tap in, turn up, get around some good energy, good folks, good vibes, and have a great time.